On an historic occasion, President Eisenhower arrives in Paris to be greeted by NATO Secretary Spock and Secretary Dulles. President Coty is present with Premier Gaillard on the eve of the NATO summit meeting. The military are represented by Deputy Commander Montgomery, as well as the Commander-in-Chief of NATO, Lawrence Norstad. It is a triumphal return to Paris for the man who once liberated it, and who today stands as the leader of the free world as it marshaled its resources against communism. On the day following, at the Palais de Chaillot, center of world attention, President Eisenhower and Secretary Dulles enter for one of the most crucial NATO meetings. As the leaders of 15 nations convene, the role of Europe's free nations becomes more clear. 3 nations will accept the installation of intermediate-range missiles on their territory, the missiles to be supplied by the United States. Also, NATO heads agree that future talks on disarmament might be profitably undertaken. Spearheading the meeting is an address by the President, in which he reviews NATO's achievements as a bloc to Russian aggression.
NATO was born nearly 10 years ago. 8 European nations had then come under Soviet domination, and there was clear danger that the rest of Europe might, nation by nation, fall before the powerful military and political influence of the Soviet Union. NATO has proved itself as an agency of peace and of security for us. Since it came into being, no further nation of Europe has been lost to communist aggression. Behind the barrier of NATO's deterrent power, conventional and nuclear, the peoples of the West have made great advances.
Situation calling for urgency, but also cool heads and training efficiency. These men are demonstrating the latest escape method adopted by the British Navy, the built-in... Only for Boaten, it is irrelevant and immaterial. The sport's the thing. Wunderbar ausgezeichnet. There's a lucky number, 16, and there's your winner. Pentti Juotonen of Finland. His best jump of the meet, 214 feet. How's he feel? Tip-top, of course. Hurts. They tried means for his efforts. The sport, originated in Holland 3 centuries ago, calls for many talents, plus the one of absorbing bruises, a batch. The defending champ, Leo Lebel of Hartford, clears 16 barrels to retain his world's title. Leo got the jump. Round-the-clock cross-country marathon is the equivalent of 5. Accidents, disastrous crash that took 90 lives. and ended German participation. Since that year, the racers continue a phenomenal streak of victories in every major sports car race, placing 1-2 leveling. The least a fella's apt to lose is his motorcycle. He could break a neck without much effort. But these birds are a special breed. The greater the risk, the greater the sport. Bronco Buster is right. Look out below. Arms. Ahead lies a grueling 4.5-mile course with 30 jumps, a supreme test of horse and rider. But then Aintree starts to take its toll. One after another, the early leaders fall out of contention, with the exception of Sundew. Our luck is with Sundew. At the halfway mark, less than half the field remains as they begin the second round of the course, with the jumps just as high and dangerous, and the horses no longer fresh. Sundew first, Winburn second, and Tiberetta. Sundew romps home after leading all the way in the roughest race. Just have to wait. Patty McCormick, Olympic diving champ, also takes precedence over the diving maniacs of Al Sheehan's Aqua Follies. Girls first is their motto, and then gangway. 30 pounds of him makes a big splash, as do all of his comedy divers. And live as dangerously as one. Patty McCormick and the boys in Follow the Leader. Tabado said he could ski on shoe skis 15 inches long. Some of the cameramen were skeptical too, but seeing is believing. Ken has ways of getting back at skeptics. So, you didn't believe him. People are convinced that Ken Tabado can do anything with a splash.